What's good, everybody? Today's video, we're going to do a top tier review on domain range and how to interpret points on a graph. As we start this video, guys, we're going to be looking at 5 key questions. So our first question asks us f of -3. And understand this is a simple question. All they're asking us for is what is the y value? What is our output once we have a x of -3? So when I go to -3 on the x-axis, I notice that there is a point on the graph, and that coordinate is -3, 2. So as a result, when x is -3, we know our answer, y, is just +2. Now we go over to domain and range. And before we answer this question, just understand that we have endpoints, right? There are not arrows attached to that graph, meaning negative infinity and positive infinity are not going to be in our domain and range. So when we look down, right, we scroll down, when we have U-shaped and V-shaped graph, guys, this is when the domain is going to be negative infinity to positive infinity, right? But then the range, if we look at the range, whatever that y value is going to be that y value to positive infinity. And if it flips downwards, like this last question here or problem, it's going to start from negative infinity and it's going to come up to whatever y value is at the vertex. So please make sure that you guys understand this concept. So as we go back to this now, it's asking us for the domain and we're going to switch to red. So when we look at this point here, right, we know x is -5. And then we go over here, we know that x is 7. These 2 points represent the lowest number on the graph for x and the highest number. It's not going to go outside of those 2 numbers. So when I fill in my domain now, I know I have -5 and 7. This line or graph is going to run between those numbers. And because we have a closed circle, it's brackets. Now let's say we had a open circle. How would that change this problem? It really wouldn't. Only difference is we would have parentheses instead of brackets. So please understand that difference. Now, when we talk about range, we're talking about the lowest point on the graph, right? Here we go. Our y is -4. And we're talking about the highest point of the graph, which is +4. So just understand range is going to be similar to domain. We're going to read it from bottom to top. So we start at -4 and we go all the way to +4. And because there are endpoints, right, on the where x is -5 and 7, the brackets are also going to be included for this range, right? It's not going to pass 4. It touches 4, it's not going to pass it. So this is also going to have brackets. Now we get to question number 4, which they worded it so they worded it in a way to confuse us. It says all x where f of x is 0. All this is saying is, hey, when you plug an x in, when will it give you 0 for y? So when I switch back to pink, here goes the first one, right? When x is 1, y is 0. Here goes the second point. When x is 5, y is 0. So what is the answer to this question? The answer is this. X is equal to 1 and 5. Another way they're going to ask you the same question is, hey, what are the solutions to the function, to the graph? What are the zeros? So just understand this is another way they're going to ask this question. Now, the last question of the day, right? This is the key for the video. Really hope you guys have made it here and found value in this video. If you have, just hit the like button for us. But all they're asking us right here now, they're saying all x where f of x is equal to 2. So now we're focusing on what range, and when I say range, I'm talking about what set of numbers for the x is going to give us a result of y being 2. And when we look, right, let's just do some erasing. Let's clean this up some. When we look here, this is the only area where y is going to be equal to 2. And we see that it's going to be between when x is -5 and when x is -2. So how do we express that as an answer? So we're going to put, oops, went down too much, -5, -2. And this will be our answer. If we expressed it let's say as a inequality, we could write it like this. And this will also be our answer. So when we're looking at domain range and how to interpret graphs, this is exactly how we'll do it. This is what they're asking us. And we just really hope that this video review was helpful for you guys and that you understood this topic a lot better. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on Algebra 1 with Mr. Peters.